Hello, my name is Fox and welcome to a Commander deck collection video. I'm going to be showing you all the decks that I currently have built, which is about 10, 11, counting my Oathbreaker deck. This is a video I actually did with a friend of mine, Eric, a while back, where I showed off his massive deck collection. Where I think he had like close to number 30 at one point. I think he had over 30. I don't have that many, but I do have 10. I will not be recording every single card in every deck. I do have most of my lists on my Tapped Out and my, I think it's pronounced Arch deck profile, which you can get in the description at the bottom if you want to see full lists. There are 2 or 3 decks where I actually don't have the list up yet because they're still being tested, but let me start shutting the hell up and just getting onto the deck, starting with Daravi. He's the bird wizard. I should mention every deck is in a boulder case and using Dragon Shield matte sleeves. Those are my favorite sleeves, so if you want to know what I use for supplies, that is it. Derevi has been my mainstay Voltron deck for a long time. I've been updating it every time new cards come out, so I got all 7, yes, 7 swords. 8 if you want to count the Sword of Dungeons and Dragons, which I don't have yet, but I have been given permission to play if I ever choose to do so. Derevi, like I said, is Voltron. It's not a very stacked deck. I've taken a lot of counterspell stuff out. It's mostly just goofing around with equipment and Voltron and a giant flying cast that will smack you in the face with a bunch of swords coming out of his hands. Lord Wangroose, pronounced exactly like that. Yep, Lord Wangrace is a deck I built when the card came out. I liked it the minute it came out, and since then I've just had the deck forever, and I keep adding new fun cards to it. It is just one of the most fun Jund commanders I've ever played. It is a basic land matters deck, so pretty much just basic lands with the exception of Evolving Wild, Termite Expanse. I'm not playing any fetched lands because I don't feel like spending a ton of money on lands. Basic lands works just fine. This deck wins pretty consistently. It's very, very fun. A couple win conditions, as you see, are the Exsanguinate. I have a lot of token generation, a lot of haste enablers, a lot of power and punchies and fun, goofy stuff like Possibility Storm. The deck's just fun. It's got a bunch of ways to win, usually through combat or through draining the table, and it's just a very consistent, very fun commander deck, and I love it. 5 color, no color. Yep, it is Morophon Eldrazi, and like the name says, there is no color in this deck, and it's all Eldrazi tribal. I actually posted a video of this list, so if you want to see that, that is the older list. I haven't really added too much to the deck, really. Maybe some utility artifacts and things like that. Pretty much the deck is as I posted it. Just a good, fun, goofy Eldrazi deck with no color. One of my first commander decks of all time. It started as Talran Sky Summoner, then moved on to Melik Izzet Paragon, and then Niv Mizzet the Firemind, and then Niv Mizzet Draco Genius for one awful summer, and now it's Niv Mizzet Perrin. Whoa, I moved the camera a bit. Niv Mizzet Perrin. Foil Niv Mizzet Perrin. Stamped. I pulled it. It was a good day. Yeah, this is my mainstay competitive deck. Although I haven't really played it in a very, very long time. It's probably outdated, and I need to add some stuff to it. But it's just a deck that I've had built forever. Oh, I actually have updated it. Look, I put a Jace Wielder of Mysteries. He's basically Lab Maniac. I have 2 Lab Maniacs. The deck's just always been with me. I've had it built forever. It's probably one of my more expensive decks. Even though I have taken out some stupid, dumb, expensive foils and sold them because I'm trying to cut back on foil cards. It's a good deck. It's not very fun, which is why I don't play it that much. But it's just the deck I will never take apart because it's my first real good commander deck, and I love it. Here's one I haven't posted yet. Kaikar. This is actually a brand new boulder box, which is why it doesn't have tape on it. Kaikar, Wind's Fury. It is a token generation, fun, dumb, crap deck. Oh, and it's running Soul Sisters. Yeah, that's pretty much, this is pretty much the game winner, which is Divine Visitation and having some kind of haste enabler. Running a lot of non-creature spells and some really good creature spells and a lot of tokens, and it's like American Colors Marath. Basically, I wanted to build a non-green token deck, and Kaikar just seemed like a really good way to go. Another option would have been Teysa, but I'm sick of Orzhov decks, especially token Orzhov decks. They're just boring to me. It's actually very, very fun. Running stuff like Impact Tremors. I'm not running Perforos. That's only because I don't have one. I would run it if I had one. And then stuff like Joyra, Soul Sister, but with a needle. Yeah, this deck I actually haven't written out the list for yet. I will. I have played it enough where I'm confident in the list, so I'll probably have that in the description or on one of my either my Tapped Out or my Arch Deck accounts soon, maybe. I don't know, whenever I find time. Seal Team Sphinx. A deck I started because someone said I couldn't make it, so I made it. and it's really, really good. I've actually started not taking it to Commander Sundays just because it's, at this point, become a combo blue deck, even though not really. It's Sphinxes. It's just good value. Like, Unesh is such a great commander. Basically, when a Sphinx comes into play, including himself, you factor fiction except for 4 cards, which means you take 4 cards, reveal them to an opponent, they make 2 piles, and you put 1 pile in your hand. It's constant draw. Your Sphinxes cost less. Sphinxes are huge, and they're flying, so, you know, you have big creatures all the time. There's a lot of Infect in blue, like Corrupted Conscious, and a lot of enchantment copying, like Clever Impersonator and Phyrexian Metamorph and Grafted Exoskeleton. So you basically win through Infect damage or big, beefy attackers with Coat of Arms. It's just a good deck in every way, shape, or form. It's won so many games, despite the fact that people underestimated it so much, which makes me so proud of this deck. It's just a great, great deck. Making Bears. Oh, Game Grumps, I'm so sorry. Yeah, this is my Bear Tribal deck. A goofy green deck that I built. And then I took apart Yisan recently and put all the expensive stuff that was in Yisan in this. It's a Bear Tribal deck. It's not great. I still need to fix it quite a bit. But it does its, yeah, look, Signed Earthcraft, because God knows I need that in here. It's not great. It's really not great. I like my goofy decks to be somewhat, you know, good, so I can play Magic while, you know, playing Magic. So this needs quite a lot of... Oh, Eric, I put in Chameleon Colossus. Thank you. Thank you for the suggestion. It's in there now. Yeah, it needs a good amount of tweaking before I can really say it's a good deck. It's a fun deck. It's definitely a fun deck. And it's running these cool Dragon Shield matte art sleeves, which I need to make more of. But yeah, just needs more tweaking before I feel comfortable posting a list for it. Marath. Yep, the old side-by-side with Div Mizzet for being one of my first decks ever made. Made this guy when he came out a long time ago, I think 2015, I don't remember. And it's, again, a combo Naya deck, which is basically running the Kiki Jiki Restoration combo. And I usually go for that, and it's fun, I guess. I don't like playing... Hey, look, it's the original foil promo Soccer Tri-Builder with that art. Now they made that art regular, and I like it. Yeah, this deck, I want to kind of downgrade it. I want to take out a lot of the combos, like the Squirrel's Nest, the Kiki combo. I want to see if I can run a Naya deck a little bit differently. But until then, it is my second competitive Naya deck, and it wins. It wins a lot of games. It's very, very good. It's very, very effective. It's also very boring, so that's kind of why I don't play it too much. Goalless Gates, Maze's End. This used to be Joda, and I actually played it in a video for MTG Mudster. If you want to look one of those videos up, he has got a lot of them, so you know, good luck. But yeah, it's Maze's End, Guild Gates, and it's very good. This is almost a competitive deck at this point. It's won a good amount of games that it shouldn't have won, and it's what you think it is. It's Maze's End. You win through Maze's End. There's actually no way to kill opponents in this deck. I don't actually kill opponents. I either win through Maze's End or Revel in Riches, which is in here somewhere. There we go. Or through Revel in Riches, through having lots of treasures. Yeah, I've never actually killed anyone with this deck. I've always won through Guild Gates, or I haven't won. So this is kind of like my pacifist deck. I just win because I have things. And get ready for the debut of a brand new deck, which I have not named yet. Technically, it's Deadwalk was a name, but I kind of don't want to call it that anymore because it's kind of, I don't know, too watered down for my naming scheme. You know, Lord Wangroose is a lot more flavorful than that. And it's Grevin, Predator Captain. Yeah, I've thought about calling this deck the Chris Hansen Experience, but I'm not. I think that might be a little too on the nose. Rakdos, I Lose Life deck, where I lose a lot of life and then kill someone with Grevin. So Grevin says it's plus X plus 0 for every life you've lost this turn. So Necropotence, as well as Treasonous Ogre, means you can one-shot someone really easy. And also yourself, kind of. It's running some life gain, like you saw Kakusho and Grey Merchant of Asphodel, and a fair amount of life gain. But the deck really is an all-or-nothing way to win. You either kill someone while slowly killing yourself, or then you lose. And the last technically commander deck is, again, my Saheeli Oathbreaker deck, or as my friend Snow says, Oat Breaks. We are breaking oats. Yeah, it's Saheeli and Burn at the Stake. I have not yet built a new Oathbreaker deck. I think the format's kind of peaking down a bit. Hopefully it picks back up, but I'll always have this deck built. It's just a fun deck. I make a lot of tokens, and then Burn at the Stake someone for that many tokens times 3. I don't know why Lisp there. It's actually the only deck I run where I actually keep tokens on me. Look at all those servos and one zombie. Because I'm running Praise the God Pharaoh. I think that's the name of the card. And it makes an amass token. On a side note, here's something interesting that I think a lot more people should do. Carry an extra deck box around you with sleeves. Sleeves for your multiple decks. These are all, I usually just put commanders in these sleeves. But these are all extra sleeves for the type of sleeves that I run for all my commander decks. I always carry it on me, so in case one breaks, which for Dragon Shield mats is fairly rare. That doesn't happen that much. But I always have extra sleeves on me just in case they do. And that was all my commander decks. Let's put them on camera. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you later with more videos, but until then, hold on. Here come the troops. There's more. Oh God, there's more. Stop! I need help. Why am I a cat?